This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Nate, yeah, I don't know if you heard us bringing up the Carissa Thompson situation where she admitted about, is it really like making up sideline reports, or it's just making up quotes is what it came down to? And
yeah,
I imagine you were always able to get the coach that you needed to get on the sidelines at Arkansas high school games.
Well, there were times that I didn't, but I would never make anything up. What I would do is I would, sometimes there wouldn't be a lot to say, but I would try to pick up on something. Hey, how'd they look coming out of the dressing room? Were they chipper? Was there anything I noticed? And sometimes I would be able to talk to the coach, but it wouldn't be, live. I'd just say, hey, what do you think about the second half? And they'd give me, I remember one time, J.R. Eldridge, they were losing to, he was at Arkadelphia, and they were getting beat pretty badly by Benton. And he didn't want to talk. And so I just said, coach is really focused, on the warm-ups down here. He's leading the calisthenics, and he doesn't seem happy. So that was accurate. He wasn't really rude to me, but he was very intense and didn't want to talk. And I described that. So yeah, you cannot make anything up. I mean, you can't do that. I think that was a high school and setting. There was always something to mention. If you're in a Division I college on national TV, there has got to be something that you can talk about that isn't fabricated. I mean, the fans, the guys coming out of the tunnel. I mean, something. I think she kind of misspoke there. I don't think hopefully she didn't mean that she made up things the coaches said. I mean, I haven't been able to sit down and read the report, but yeah, you are in situations, and I'm sure in a national situation like that, where you can't always talk to them. And so you can either off the record, get a comment from the coach. In a high school setting, many times I wouldn't have the benefit of the coach. A lot of times I did, but I mean, I had to improvise. Just what you're saying. If you are a talented reporter, an entertainer, I mean, there's something that you can take. I mean, if I was on the sideline of a major Division I college or NFL, I certainly would have been able to find something to talk about that wouldn't be fabricated. I mean, you can never fabricate. I mean, if you said something, reported something that the coach said and they didn't say it. Also, I think it's okay if you overhear them saying something that isn't, like they're talking to the quarterback and giving him some praise, or even you could report that, like, hey, he took about 5 minutes or something and pulled the quarterback aside. Like maybe the guy didn't have the greatest first half and he's talking to him or something like that. And you can kind of speculate what, he might have been saying to him as far as, getting geared up for the second half. But there are many things that you could do. I don't want to throw her under the bus, and I haven't read everything that she's apparently said. But I think some of it is she misspoke, and hopefully she didn't really mean that she fabricated quotes. But I don't know. Yeah, when you say you made up something.
Nate, we're in Hot Springs today. Is Hot Spring Lakeside they got a big game today?
Yeah, they play at Pine Bluff, and Garen Rockwell is a longtime coach. They call him Coach Rock. He was a coordinator there, and they elevated him. Really didn't know what to expect from them. It's a team that had some highs and lows with Jared McBride, but he really has orchestrated. I mean, if you are, we will do this too, a Coach of the Year. If you're doing that award, you've got to have him on your list. And I'm talking about not just in 5A, but the entire state. He has orchestrated one of the biggest surprise seasons. And, you kind of get to a point now where you're like, why not Lakeside? I mean, nobody thought they were going to do anything the whole year, and they've only lost 2 ball games. They lost a close one to Malvern early in the year. Malvern's a good 4A team, and he lost to Little Rock Parkview. Won a playoff game last week. Pine Bluff's very talented. I mean, more talented than them, deeper, but that's why we play the games. And they've got a really good quarterback in Hiramiso that can throw the ball, and they've got a couple good receivers. Kyler Wolf had a huge game last week, so they have got some weapons. You're kind of playing with house money when you're a team that nobody's picking. I mean, nobody's picking them to win. Pine Bluff's a team that a lot of people think to win the state championship could possibly beat Park. I don't think they can beat them. They could maybe give them a run, but they're super athletic with Courtney Crutchfield, who recently decommitted from Arkansas, and Austin Denley, who is a Division I recruit as well, and a good quarterback in Landon Holcomb.
What's your feeling on the Charlie Collins kid from Mills? Yesterday was an interesting day as far as you get recruiting services. They're going crystal ball on him to Ole Miss, and he comes out and basically has to reaffirm his commitment publicly on social media, and here it is. I mean, you still have a few weeks before the early signing period. What do you think's going on there?
I don't have a crystal ball, and I wouldn't try to crystal ball too many things. That's really kind of not my bag. But
that's not what I'm asking. It's just. I mean, this is even the rumblings of a kid from Little Rock that was being recruited by Arkansas and is committed to Arkansas. We already saw what happened with Crutchfield. It's a steady stream is what it feels like, Nate.
Say it again.
It almost feels like a steady stream. Like you got to stick your finger in the dike, but then there's another break in the dam.
Yeah. Well, this is my gut feeling. Those guys are tight. I wrote a story. I don't know if you read that early in the year about how they committed together. They grew up in Pine Bluff together. I don't see one going without the other. As of right now, as far as we know, and I know, Charlie's committed to Arkansas, and I guess, I hadn't seen that yesterday, but I feel like this was a statement by Crutchfield. He made the tweet right before the kickoff of the Florida game. I think it was some sort of statement, and I'm not really sure what it was, but I think he's going to come back around and no, I'm not trying to read anything in, or no offense to Courtney, but I just think he's going to come back around to Arkansas. That he and Charlie go there, sit down and talk about things and what might happen, and see what happens with the coaching situation. Certainly, if something does happen with the head coach, that probably every recruit in the state and elsewhere is going to maybe reevaluate their commitment. It's just natural when a change happens because you don't know who's coming in and whatever. If he sticks around, I think some of those guys will stay and commit, and I could see Courtney's, if Charlie's staying at Arkansas, then he would recommit and sign with the Hogs. I don't see them going in separate schools. I don't see that happen.
Okay. I got to get your thoughts on the 7A playoff games here. Southside and Fayetteville, a rematch. Fayetteville beat them in what looked like a pretty good game the first time around. Cabot at Bentonville is another interesting one. What do you think of these?
Yeah. I'll briefly hit those if we're up against the time here. With Fayetteville, their defense is not tremendous. It's not bad, but their offense, when you're grading out the units, they get an A++. And on defense, maybe a C+, B-, or something like that. They make some stops. They turn the ball over, or commit forced turnovers rather. So they're opportunistic, but you can put some points on the board on them at times. Southside did that. Amari Tucker, Isaac Gregory, boy, they ran roughshod over Jonesboro last week. That was a bit of a mild upset. They come into this game feeling like they can score on Fayetteville, and they've got to try to contain Drake Lindsay, and that is a difficult thing because he's only thrown 2 interceptions over 40 touchdowns. He doesn't make mistakes, so it's difficult. Their defense has been a little porous. They're going to try to win a shootout, and they were successful last time scoring the ball, so they're hoping they can do that again, score a major upset. They feel good after playing, at Jonesboro and having a good game. On the flip side, up in Benton County, Bentonville, this is my upset special this week. I think Cabot goes there and wins. Their defense is good. Their offense is getting better. They had Bryant 21-17. They were down late in the fourth quarter. Bryant gets a 4th down stop and scores on a 90-yard touchdown run. then gets the ball back again and scores again. So that makes the score look a little bit not lopsided, but they had command. Brian didn't have command of that game until the final 3 or 4 minutes. So keeping that in mind, Cabot's playing good at the right time, and they've gone to Bentonville and won before. I think their defense is good enough to give Carter Nye some problems. He's a quarterback that was electric 2 weeks ago coming off an injury. He completed like 14 of his first 15 passes, first one for a 46-yard completion. So he is playing good after that injury, but that's my upset tonight is Cabot going up there and then Cabot playing Bryant next week and giving the Hornets a run for their money after, doing that a couple weeks ago.
BetOnline is your #1 source for all your betting needs. Get the latest odds, lines, and matchup reports for baseball, boxing, golf, and more. BetOnline continues to be the fastest and easiest way to place your wagers, including live betting and your favorite casino and card games available to play right from your phone. Head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and get in on the action. Remember to use our promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, for your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Bet online, where the game starts.